Rafid, assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to clarify something, and Aman, you can jump in, but I just wanted to clarify something before you guys keep speaking. From the Sunni perspective, I don't know what Muslim was doing, but it's never to cast doubt on the Imams themselves. The Imams are, you can, if you say they're masum, or some people will say they're protected. The Imams are protected from sin and things like that. But it's not to cast doubt on the Imams, it's to cast doubt on who is connected to the Imams. It's not to say
He
because
doesn't come from a Sunni school of thought, Shafi. He does not. He doesn't. So,
yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying, usually when people say, no, it's not. The Imams are the Imams. Of course, the 12 Imams are the 12 Imams, but it's who is connected to the 12 Imams. Now, when was the 11th Imam? How many centuries ago was he? And now the 12th Imam is in occultation, but who is connected to the Imams? I don't doubt Imam Mahdi, and I don't doubt any of the 12 Imams. It's who is connected to the Imams, and who is, I want to know who it is, and show me that person. Show me
Point
his
taken.
character. Show
No,
me
no,
his status. Show
your
me the
point
status
is
of the.
taken, brother. I get it.
That
And
is
then what I
that is the real meat of the issue. It's not the Imams. The Imams are the Imams. They're the
yeah,
that
Imams.
was
They're
not his
independent.
argument, Shafi.
no,
His
no,
was a
no, no, but
completely different
No,
thing.
this
Like,
is
yeah.
another. This is for Rafid because Rafid has a very. He's drawing the line here. No, it's not the Imams. The Imams are the Imams. But how do you access the Imams? Who has access to the Imams? And show me
so
your access.
that
Show me.
question goes back. This question goes back to the beginning. Basically, we have to go back. We don't. This is again. It's another problem because the legislation, or sorry, let's the narration, the corpus that let's say the Sunni brothers take from and the Shia brothers take from is a bit different. There's commonalities, or there's differences, and so you have to go back to the top and say, was there a successful to Rasulullah, a successor to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Was this person Imam Ali or was it Abu Bakr? And so on and so
No,
forth. Because but I'll explain why I'm saying this.
no, and I
Because
understand that. Said Haider, with all due respect,
Faddal. Yeah, go ahead.
that's not the correct approach.
Go
With
ahead.
all due respect, that is not the correct approach. The correct approach is the opposite. You go, say, I go to a school, and we'll use an example of martial arts because
Sure.
it has a very similar a long history. If I go to there's a master in the school, how
Right.
do I know that this school is legitimate? The way I know is by the students of the school. The students are the proof of the teachings of. So it's the students. Now you're going all the way back to Imam Ali. Of course, Imam Ali is the door that we know, and the Imams, we know the Imams. But now I want to know. Show me the proof of. Show me the proof of these teachings. Bring me a person. Bring me people. Bring me a group. Show me Islam lived. I want to, not books and art. I want to see it lived. I want to see who is carrying the light of the Prophet ﷺ. Who is holding this?
Yeah,
Who
but
is
to
holding
understand,
this torch?
yes. But to
Don't show me the
understand what,
Imams. Of course, Imam Mahdi, we
no,
know
no,
he
no,
is,
no.
but Imam Mahdi is in occultation. Who has access to Imam Mahdi? That is
Forget
the
Imam
most
Mahdi.
important
No,
question.
brother, forget Imam Mahdi. Forget Imam Mahdi. We have to go back to understand what was expected of us, what was taught. There are clearly differences out there. It's not just a matter of akhlaq. The religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the religion that's been brought down. It's not from bottom up. It was brought down. So the discussion revolves around who are the authorities from whom you take. It's got nothing to do with you respect the imams or you don't. Are they authorities or are they not? Which let's say which. And by the way, this is not something the Shias believe in. You do the same when it comes to narrators. To go back to Rasulullah to get the teachings, you go back to some specific narrators and you reject some. So the discussion is, I agree with you. At the end, for me, this is my personal belief, only my personal belief. I believe Islam in itself, as a body, it's like a tree. The usul al-din are the roots, the furu' are the fruits, or the furu' are the branches, and if What you need is, if you really apply the correct Islam, that fruit that comes out of it should be your akhlaq, should be the bottom line. What Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came for, which was to perfect that akhlaq, that khuluq, so that you're a human being. But the necessity is to go back to the top and find out what was expected of us. The ummah is obviously in shambles. The Muslim ummah is in shambles. We've gone wrong somewhere.
So Sayyid,
We can't.
Sayyid,
Anyway,
are you
تفضلوا.
saying Bismillah, Bismillah.
I've spoken too much, so go
Okay,
ahead,
oh,
guys.
okay, okay. Sayyid, are you saying that no? That's a theory, right? What you're saying is true, right? It is absolutely true. You have to follow the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you have to follow the Ahlul Bayt. But how can you follow? This is a very serious and a very real question. So please listen to this question. How can you follow an example that you don't have in front of you? I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not talking about
Can I
books
can
and
I can I
writings.
can I answer you? Can I answer you, Shafi?
You need people who have the teachings in them, in their.
Shafi, can I answer
You
you?
understand?
Can I answer you?
No, no, wait. Let Syed answer, because I think Syed is on the same
No, no,
field
no.
as he is.
Can I
Please,
answer?
Muhammad, your
let
turn
me
might be
just
on
answer
another
you, and
second.
then you can continue. You can continue with Sayyid. I will quickly answer, and then I will mute my mic. Okay, because oftentimes when we are asked this question, like, oh, why is your 12 Imam not with you, something like that. Anyway, Jesus is not with you, but you still believe that he will come back. You haven't seen Dajjal, and you believe Dajjal is actually present on earth. I don't know, where Sunnis are hiding the Dajjal. You believe in the Dajjal, that the Dajjal is living, he's on earth. So it is not only the Shias who believe in the concealment of a religious personality. That's number one. Number two, the prophet, his ministry was for 23 years, and he spent 13 years in Mecca under persecution, and he spent another 10 in Medina, fighting battles, governing the Muslims, contending with the munafiqeen and all that, and also delivering the message and teaching the message. That's 10 years. And then he returned to Mecca, and then it didn't take a matter of a very short period. He died, he passed away, or he was killed. Anyways, um, afterwards, how do you get your religion? We have,
You get it from Imam
for
Ali.
example,
Rafid, you get it from Imam Ali. Rafid, you haven't understood the question, and I'll
no,
answer
I
the question
understand.
for
I
you.
understand
You
the
get it from
question. I
Imam
understand
Ali.
you.
You get it from
Trust me,
Imam
trust me.
Hassan.
Just let him finish.
You get it from Imam Hussein. You get it from the Imams. I'm not saying we don't believe in Imam Mahdi. Imam Mahdi, sure, let's believe he's an occultation. That's not the issue. The issue is not the Mahdi, Rafid. The issue is us, the Ummah. Who has access? We need people here who have the Muhammadan light. And that's what I want to know. Show me how. Where is this? Who are the people? Is it the one in your picture, Rafid? Is it the one
I
in the
can
picture
answer.
in Yoko? Is it the one in
Yeah,
Muhammad?
it's very okay. Are you talking
Muhammad
in respect to
is it?
leadership? Are you talking in respect to leadership?
No, no, no. I'm talking in respect to access to Imam Mahdi. Is it the one in your picture? Is he the one? Then it
No,
just
no, no.
point me
Listen,
to
listen,
someone.
listen,
Point me to
listen,
someone, and
uh,
I'll
listen.
prove him.
Astaghfirullah al-Azim. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Are you trolling, Shafi? Are you trolling? Just be honest. Just be honest. It's the
Yoko, please.
21st century. This is
No,
this is not an excusable amount of ignorance, and this is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. This is bullying. What is he saying? What the hell is he saying?
And I think this channel, I think is not inappropriate
Yoko,
to
just a
use the
minute, please.
ideology.
Shafi, if you just permit me to continue my answer to you.
No,
Um,
Yoko. Clearly, Yoko hasn't understood what I'm saying either. I think only Syed has understood so far. Um, So continue, Rafid,
So
maybe.
when you asking who has
So
contact with
find
the
a
Imam,
better way to ask your question then, Shafi. If you actually have a question, find a better way to ask it that doesn't insult the intelligence and the creed of the people on the stage. Kindly find another way to make your point without disrespecting our intelligence and without trolling or being rude. Saying what you said about this person has a name. This person has a name. You can speak of him respectfully and you can make your point or you can make your question, pose your question in a way that doesn't disrespect us, because no one has ever said that the person, and his name is Sayyid al-Khamenei, no one has ever said that he is our Mahdi. No one has ever said that. You need to
No, no,
stop
no.
making
No one.
these
I didn't
provocative
say he's the Mahdi.
low blows. They're very childish. And just because you've been indulged so far doesn't mean the people listening to you are not being hurt and are not being offended. Find a
Yoko,
different
please,
way to make your
please,
point.
Yoko, nobody is hurt and offended.
The point is
Just a
only one.
minute.
Well, I speak for
Wait.
myself then.
Okay. Shafi, what's your question?
The question is quite simple. Bismillah, and I don't mean to be rude. I'll say it in the most polite way I can possibly say it. But obviously, it is a question raised against what you believe. So whether said politely or harshly, it may offend you. And I'm sorry, Yoko, if it does. Okay. The question simply is this: the issue is it's never the imams nor is it the Mahdi in
What's your
occultation.
question? We don't want description. Give me the question.
The question is simply, we understand the role of the Imams and we understand the role of the Mahdi, but we do not understand, we understand the infallibility, the masumiyat, the masum, the nature of them, but we do not understand how it goes from masum, infallible, goes from the infallible realm, where the axis from the infallible realm goes to the fallible realm. Now, Yoko, I didn't mean to offend Sayyid Ayatollah. I don't know the name. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the names here.
Sayyid
Sorry,
But
al-Khamenei,
who,
Yoko, please don't
who,
engage with him,
how
please.
does it go from infallible to fallible? Where is the connection? Who is the connector between the infallible to the fallible? That's my only simple question. Direct me to that, and then I'll do my research. I'll do my own research.
Wait. Are
Is
you
it from?
Shia, Shafi? Are you Shia?
No, no, no. I'm not. I'm not sure.
You're not Shia. So on what basis do you believe the 12th Imam is in occultation?
I believe on some basis he is, but not to the basis that you believe he is.
On what basis do you believe in 12 Imams?
I believe it in a spiritual sense, in a very esoteric sense,
What
but I
what
believe in a
what
close.
spiritual sense? Where is the text? What text makes you believe in 12 Imams?
Shafi, it's okay if you're Sufi. It's okay. You
This
can
guy's
be
a
anything.
Sufi. This guy's a Sufi, brother
It's so he
Muhammad.
can be anything he wants. So stop it.
No. He can be, but I think for somebody ask, I can answer his question. It's not a problem. Well, first of all, for somebody to make such a question, because he's not obliged to follow like any scholar of the Shias or any marja or any faqih or any jurist. You're not obliged to follow them. But now the question is, since you say you believe in the 12 Imams and you believe in Imam Mahdi, the question is, how do you establish, as a Sufi, a Sunni, a Wahhabi, a Quranist, a Buddhist, whatever you may be, or an atheist, whatever you are, how do you establish the Imamah of the 12 Imams? Can you explain that?
I can explain it, and for that it entails another room and another. You have to another starting
No,
point.
you don't have to go into
It,
this. Just give me quick references.
no, quick reference. This is not a topic of quick references, but I just simply maybe Nargis, inshallah, back channel me just to tell me the. I think Nargis understands the question because maybe someone else does too
Maybe
on stage.
he's
Just tell
had
me
a
the
spiritual experience.
tell me
Maybe
the link.
he picks from different schools. Maybe he doesn't have an exact answer to what we're asking.
Nargis,
Let's be gentle with
sister,
him, Raf.
sister. No, sister. We've been very. That's why I told Yoko not to speak to him. I don't want, maybe he may misconstrue. the way she speaks, maybe that she's attacking him or anything. No, I'm asking him, since you want us to establish the fact that we follow Maraja, we have Ayatullahs we follow. You want us to establish the followership of the Ayatullahs. That's not a problem. But first of all, if I were talking with a fellow Shia, I will know how to explain this to him. And he will view the Imams as authorities whose words he can actually follow and uphold. Because we do have hadiths from the Imams of what to do after the 12th Imam. We have this. They didn't just disappear. The Imamah didn't just, go into occultation and we are left without any guide. This is not the case. We have hadith. But first of all, you have to actually believe in the Imamah the way we believe so that we can establish this for you. So now
Well,
I am asking you, on what basis do you believe in the 12 Imams?
He's trying
How
to
do you justify?
Shafi,
well,
how you
Muhammad,
Sister,
understand Mahdi and how
sister, please, Narjis, please, let him answer for himself. Go ahead, Shah.
Muhammad, see, you almost answered the question. I just want to be point to those resources so I can go do my own research. I just simply want to know how it goes from
Okay,
the
one
mountain
of the
imams, how
hadith,
it goes to us.
one of the hadith we have is the tawqi', what is known as the tawqi' of
Can you put it
Imam
in the
Mahdi.
chat? Can you put it in the chat so I can?
Yeah, I can find it for you. I can find it for you, and you'd have to give me like some minutes. I can get it for you. So the tawqi' of the Imam said that in the Ghaibat al-Kubra, you follow the ruwat of the ahadith. The ruwat of the ahadith, not the ahadith, the ruwat. That's number one. Number two, other hadith call them the fuqaha. You have to follow the fuqaha. That's the jurist. So we actually have this sort of hadith whereby we establish uh, the authorities of the maraja and the validity of taqlid and also the validity of wilayatul faqih. What is known as the leadership of the jurist or the authority of the jurist. Like in the case of Ayatollah Khamenei, we have this ahadith. And another verse, there's even a verse in the Quran, even if you don't have any hadith at all, there's a simple, it's very easy. Just one verse from the Quran can actually cover for all the ahadith. I think that's verse 544. 544 إنا أنزلنا التوراة فيها هدى ونور يحكم بها النبيون الذين أسلموا للذين هادوا والربانيون والأحبار بما استحفظوا من كتاب الله وكانوا عليه شهداء فلا تخشوا الناس واخشوني ولا تشتروا بآيتي ثمنا قليلا ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الكافرون. Indeed, we sent down the Torah in which was guidance and light. The prophets who submitted to Allah judged by it for the Jews, as did the rabbis and scholars, by that with which they were entrusted of the scripture, and they were witnesses thereto. So do not fear the people, but fear me. And do not exchange my verses for a small price. And whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then it is those who are the disbelievers. So this verse makes it clear that the revelation of Allah should be upheld. And if you don't uphold the revelations of Allah and you don't judge by His verses, then you are a kafir. And who are those who actually use the revelations in order to judge? Allah says the rabbis did, the scholars. And if you check the verse here, there are actually, I think, three categories of men that are mentioned. The Nabiyun, the Rabbaniyun, and the Ahbar. So they judge by the revelations of Allah. So this verse actually established the fact that the scholars play a role in the society in judging by the revelation of Allah. And further on, the hadith from the Prophet himself, where he said, the ulama, they are the heirs of the prophets. So this is another hadith which we use to actually establish the authority of our scholars. Well, if you want actually the tawqi', I can search for you. Just give me a few minutes. If I find it, I will send it to you. And if I don't find it, if I don't find it immediately, I will back channel it to you.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but right now it's that what you just explained, this part, it sounds very much like Sunni Islam. It doesn't sound any different. Unless you're saying that Wilayat al-Faqih has a certain role beyond, unless the Wilayat al-Faqih has a
No,
role
let me
beyond the
tell
fiqh.
you. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's not Sunni Islam. Because in Shia Islam, we had almost 300 years of Imamah. Sunni Islam, you had 23 years of prophethood, and then 1,400 years of fallible men who were confused and illiterate and who had the remnants of Jahiliyyah flowing in their blood, who did not even know how to do tayammum. Maybe you will understand who I'm referencing here. So you don't have the same quality of understanding when it comes to Islam. And if you want me to prove this, I can ask you a question, but I wouldn't want to ask you a simple question you cannot answer. I can do it here and it will be disgraceful. And if you dare me, I will do it.
I'm disgraceful. I'm disgraceful myself. I don't need to be. But
No.
but you
I don't.
understand the logic.
It's not my
The
intention to
logic.
be. It's not my intention to be arrogant or to try to humiliate anyone. But if you want me to put this to the test, I can do it. I can ask you a simple question, and I can swear to Allah that you will not answer it.
Okay, I probably won't know it. But Rafid, you have to give the Wilayat al-Faqih in this role. He would have to have a role greater than what you're saying. His role would have to be higher. You have to. The Wilayat al-Faqih's role would have to be greater than what you're just saying. It can't just be. It can't just be what you're saying. It has to be greater than that, because
What am
otherwise,
I saying? What am I saying? What did I say?
you just put him as the head of scholarship. His role
So
would have to be.
what exactly is his title?
Hey guys, I have a question when you guys done with this conversation, because we're going forever here in circles.
Yes. You can go back to the title of the room. Hijab is wajib. It's a choice, and khalas. There's not much discussion for the title, but this is actually more important. There's no compulsion in religion. Khalas, the room discussion's over. But this is actually more important. What I'm actually asking, this is
Yeah,
because
but
it
this
sounds like
actually
with
this
23
wait a
years or
minute,
300 years, it's the
do
same
you
thing, because
do
eventually you hit a fallible.
do you do taqlid, akhi? Do you do taqlid?
I think everyone does a level of taqleed. I don't think everyone knows everything. You understand?
Taqlid
Everyone's
of
doing
who do
some
you
taqleed.
do?
I mean, everyone's doing taqleed of someone, right? No one here can claim they're not doing taqleed. Everyone's doing some taqleed. This has always been my question. Unless you're saying the wilayat al-faqih has a higher role, then I just need to know what that is. Or should I just Google it myself? Or you guys know off the top of your head? It can't just be what his role has to be. He has to be sitting. He has to be literally sitting with the Mahdi. Wilayat al-faqih is sitting with the Mahdi. Literally, he has to be. There's no other way around it.
Check the hadith. Check the hadith I pinned. Check it. This is from Kitab al-Ghaibah. If you
بس
want me,
عفوا
I will read it to you.
محمد إذا بتسمح لي بس one little thing to help you out, Brother Shafi, is that the concept of Wilayat al-Faqih was discussed in Shia literature even before Sayyid al-Khumaini, radwanullahi ta'ala alayh. So it's a concept that's been discussed and debated. If you want to simplify it for you, it's a theory on governance in the Shia world. It's got a lot of sources, a lot of depth. There's a lot of logic behind it, a lot of reason, a lot of narrations. But it's a theory on Islamic governance, if you want to simplify it, from a marja, which was Sayyid al-Khumaini, Qudisa Sirru. Just to simplify it. But the idea of taqleed, we can date it back to Ghadir Khum, when Rasulullah said, Man kuntu mawla fa hadha aliyun mawla. After me, go to him. For example.
And after him, go to whom, Sayyid? And after him, go to whom? So now in
Yes, yes.
2022, who do I go to, Sayyid? Who do I do taqleed to?
That
This is
who
what we're...
he chooses. That who he chooses. It's obviously
No,
following a pattern here.
one
So,
second. This is what Muhammad said. He told you that when the Imam went on in occultation, in his minor occultation, he named 4 representatives who were meeting with some scholars and who were meeting with people. After the minor occultation, he went into major occultation, and he left behind guidance, a set of guidance, the rules. For example, go back to Ruwat Hadithna. Go back to the people who narrate which were the scholars, the people of knowledge that... Go ahead.
But Sayyid, he left behind rules. He didn't
Shafi,
leave.
Shafi, sorry,
During the
let
minor
me just cut
occultation,
you.
it made
Just a
sense because
minute,
there were
just a
4.
minute,
There were
Shafi.
4.
Shafi, sorry, just a minute. Shafi, if we even want to talk about taqlid from the Quran, I gave you 544. 544 is not a scholarly, just like a scholarly role in the Quran. 544. 544 is talking about implementing the laws of Allah. Now, if you want to talk about taqlid, you will not actually use 544. You will use 9122. 9122 is taqlid. This is the scholarly role without governance. But when you're talking of 544, this is hukum. This has to do with implementing the laws of Allah, implementing the deen, and for the scholar to have a political office. This is 544. If the scholar does not have a political office, then you will have to implement 9122. So even in the Quran, the basis for wilayat al-faqih is 544. The basis for taqlid is 9122. So we shouldn't mix the two here.
This is a, inshallah, I think there has to be,
But honestly,
I've
to
read,
be
this
honest,
is not, Muhammad,
I think this is a
this isn't,
futile discussion. Akhi,
yeah,
Habibi,
Muhammad.
it's like, wait, Akhi. It's like I am actually discussing with a Christian the roles of the Prophet Muhammad. You don't believe in the imamah of my imams the way I believe. You don't even consider them to be whom I consider them to be. So I think this is actually a futile. I don't know I don't know what's the purpose exactly. What's the motive for you asking this? It's like, I am asking a Christian to teach me about the Trinity. This is not your business, wallah.
No, it's not that, Muhammad.
No,
And it's not the first time I've...
you should be asking us why we reject Abu Bakr and Umar. This is what you should be
No,
asking us.
that's not how I think, though. Not everyone thinks the same way.
This is what, because if you're not a Shi'i, you shouldn't expect any explanation from me after the Ghaibah, because it's not your business.
No,
It doesn't
Muhammad, that's not
cover
true.
you. Yeah, it is true. You're not a Shi'i. You are not a Shi'i. You don't believe in the wilaya of the Imams the way I do. So I shouldn't be explaining more or less like, what Jesus said, throwing the crumbs to the dogs. I'm giving you what you don't deserve at the moment. These explanations are not for you. These explanations are for... He doesn't even believe in the first Imam. How is he talking about the last Imam? These explanations are for people who accept the wilaya of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. If you accept the wilaya of Imam Ali as the true successor of Rasulullah, fine, ahlan wa sahlan. Then we can go to the second, we can go to the third, we can go to the fourth Imam, the fifth, sixth, and the 12th. But you don't believe in the basis of Imamah.
That's not... no, because, Muhammad, that's not how everyone thinks. Some people think in the opposite direction.
I don't care how you think, because if I am going to tell you, listen, we had Imamah of almost 300 years. You had Nubuwwah of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam for 23 years. And then after him, his companions butchered themselves, they fought themselves, they contradicted themselves. Aisha accused Abu Huraira of being a liar. Umar ibn al-Khattab flogged Abu Huraira. Abu Huraira has like almost 5,000 hadiths. Then you tell us to follow the first three generations, mashallah. We find in the first three generations those who killed the Prophet's grandson. And then we find one of the grandchildren of Rasulullah saying, there were three liars, Anas and Abu Huraira and that woman. He destroyed the pillars of your religion, the Sunni religion. So you should not be asking us about post-Ghaibah. You should be asking us about the basis of your religion and why you should be a Rafidi. Because being a Sufi and telling me, I believe in the Imams has, some spiritual creatures, may Allah forgive me for using this term. I think this is not enough.
No, Muhammad, the thing is,
When you have established the wilaya of the Imams and you have done bara'ah towards their enemies, then we are on the 12 Imams. We are at the 12 Imams wilaya. Then we can establish to you what next after the 12 Imams. It's that simple.
this is not how you seek. This is not the
Guys, I have a
method of
question
seeking
again.
truth.
And you guys going in a circle. So
It is
I have.
not. Hold on, Henry. 1 second, brother. This is not. This is It is. If you are a genuine seeking of truth, you would honestly think this way, because you could go into your mind and books and imaginations and start thinking like this, but you have to start at a point. You have to start at yourself. You have to start where you are, wherever you're sitting right now listening to this. You start here, and you have to move back. Like, you can't just think about the past and read a book. And this is not. Islam is experience. It's real.
So
Everything
why does
around
the
you
Quran talk about
is
Musa
real.
and all the different
This is
prophets? So
this is not.
why does Allah
I
talk
don't
about different
understand this way
prophets?
of thinking. This is not the. Anyways, I think there are answers. Maybe they're not on Clubhouse, because I've asked these questions a couple times before. It's been over a year since I've asked it again.
Maybe you're just not understanding.
But I see no difference, to be honest, with this model that you're bringing. 300 years and then khalas, cut off. It's no different than the other model, 23 years cut off. It's no different. There's no difference
Okay,
here.
so
It's the exact same thing.
wait a minute. If there is no
It's
difference, wait, akhi, habibi, just wait. If you are telling us there is no difference, if as a Sunni you don't even know how to do wudu. Your wudu is wrong. Yani if your wudu is wrong, the basis of your salah is wrong. You don't even know how to do wudu. You're coming to tell us we're the same thing as the Sunnis? No, we're not the same thing. Your salah is void. Why is your salah void? Because after Fatiha, you have a loud Ameen. You are introducing into the salah what doesn't belong in the salah. The basis of your salah as a Sunni is wrong from our perspective.
Yeah,
So
you're
you cannot
speaking to
come.
the wrong
Yeah,
person about.
you cannot be dismissive here and say, oh, you know what? It's the same thing as the Sunnis. And let me tell you even further. Further on, guess what? As a Sunni, your Khilafah was ended by the Kuffar. The British, they uprooted your Khilafah. Khalas. In other words, the symbol of your religion, the British and the French, they destroyed your Khilafah. The Kuffar overcame you. This is what it means. In
Well,
our case, we don't believe in this system of khilafah for you to come and tell us that what you're the same with the Sunnis. Our Imams established the religion by planting the knowledge, by planting the correct Sunnah, the correct teachings of Islam. Even the 4 Imams of Sunni Islam, they benefited from Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq. In other words, without the knowledge of Imam Sadiq, you wouldn't know even your Imams wouldn't know many things.
Imam Jafar
Because
as-Sadiq, mashallah.
even today, you have Sunnis who will tell you, yeah, if not for the knowledge of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, we would not know many things. So
That's
you
true.
have a light, First of all, you have to understand what's the purpose of having imams. Is
Muhammad,
it just for the sake of having them?
Muhammad,
So
you're talking about
for you to come and tell us that, you know what, presently you're just like this. No, we're not just like the Sunnis.
Muhammad.
We are obedient. We are just looking at the concept. We are obedient to the commands of Allah. We have accepted those Allah has imposed upon us. And you have others who have rejected the ones that Allah has chosen for them. And they have chosen the enemies of the ones that Allah chose. How can we be the same?
Muhammad,
We are not the same thing.
Muhammad, if someone thinks where your hand placement in Salah is how you find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have understood nothing. I've had people, Salafis, come and move my hands in Salah, come do things while I'm praying. I've had people do that. And you're telling me, oh brother, you're holding it, put it to your side. Then you've understood, if someone is saying that you're doing this way, this is this way.
I
If
never
you're thinking
mentioned
this movement is
I
how
never
you're going to
mentioned
find Allah
about where
subhanahu wa
you
ta'ala,
put your hand.
this is so backwards of thinking how you find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is beyond. This is has. There's no spirituality in this understanding. Zero. And I just.
Brother
Spirituality.
Shafi, brother
There is
Shafi,
no. There is no. There's nothing here. There is nothing here.
brother
It's
Shafi,
quite empty.
brother Shafi, question: does Allah leave it a free for all on how to find Him, or does He tell you, for example, don't pray 4 rak'ah for subuh?
No,
I
Allah
want 2.
subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "Ati Allah, ati Rasul, wa ulil amri minkum."
No, but
This is
that's not
how
my
you. This is
question.
how you. This is
No,
how you find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's
no,
very
my
simple.
question is not there. My question is, if it gets me closer to Allah spiritually by praying more than what was ordained or legislated, am I actually getting closer to Allah, or am I disobeying Him and going further to Him? It's not just a feeling.
No, it's not
For
feeling.
example,
The only way to
yes,
get near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to attain nearness to the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's the only way. There is no
through
other way
what?
to attain
But through
Allah.
what? Through what? Through obedience, right?
Through obedience, ati Allah, yes. Ati
Yes.
Rasul.
So if you go ahead and decide what is spiritual from your own, it can actually be counterproductive and become a disobedience, which you may feel I'm getting closer to Allah, but in reality, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want this from you. He tells you, I want 2 rak'ah, not 4. So spirituality comes from obedience. It comes from a set of rules that Allah has ordained, the do's and the don'ts. Correct? And there is also an element that we don't just look at the rules of the game. There's a spirit to it as well, no doubt. But we can't define what is spiritual and what is not, what brings us closer to Allah and what doesn't. Allah put those rules. And then there are excess.
Can I elaborate a little bit on Shafi's point? I don't know if Shafi himself will agree
For
with
sure.
me here fully, but my understanding of Sunni Islam and Islam in general is that alongside the 4 madahibs, there's been 4 authentic traditions that go back to the Prophet ﷺ. I'm talking about the 4 tariqas, and they don't actually say what you're saying, right? So they don't say that of course. Obedience, submission, that's true across the board, no doubt about it. But the 4 tariqas of tasawwuf, the emphasis on tazkiyatun nafs, the emphasis on dhikr, the emphasis of humbling ourselves, of searching for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala within ourselves, of cultivating the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam through salawat and through dhikr, that's real spirituality. And there is a methodical way to do that. There's a methodical way, and the reason why we have our sheikhs is because they help you to identify where specifically we need to work on, to go and navigate the different layers of the nafs, and to hopefully achieve, the best version of ourselves.
And Nizam, no issues with what you're saying.
Okay.
In fact, I don't know if you've spent time looking at the Sahifa Sajjadiyah, for example, of Imam al-Sajjad, Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein alayhi salam. The du'as in there, their spiritualities in there, if you read the du'a itself, especially in the Arabic language, or the du'as that the Ahl al-Bayt and their companions have left, like Abu Hamza Thamali and others,
Okay.
But
If
Sayed,
you
Sayed, sorry to interrupt you here. I think there is a mix-up here. Like, based on the objection of Shafi is making jurisprudential objections, something that has to do with fiqh. Like, you understand, like the issue of wilayat al-faqih. This is a fiqh matter. And of course, it's
No,
related to Aqidah. I'm not saying no. But,
no, no.
like
I'm not making
the
a.
ahkam. Wait. When you're saying about how are we better than Sunni, I gave you for example that you don't even know how to pray. You don't even know how to do wudu. Well, not like you don't know. Well, it's wrong the way you go about it. It's not the right way. This is not how Rasulullah taught us. This is not how it is in the Quran. So this has to do with fiqh. Now, when Sayyid is actually, Nizam is bringing in spiritual issues and tazkiyatul nafs and all this, and Sayyid is actually responding with sahifatul sajadiyah. These are two different branches. You're talking about jurisprudence, and then you're talking about irfan. These are like two different branches at all. They are two different branches from themselves. They are not close to each other.
No, no. They
They are
are.
not in the
They
same.
are. They are
Wait,
perfectly
wait.
in sync with each other. They're not. They're
Okay,
not separate.
I'm not disregarding that. Okay, they are somehow connected. But you're talking here of practices or the practicality of Islam, and now you're talking about the spirituality of Islam. Now you have to know how to practice the religion so that you can reap spirituality. If you don't know how to practice the religion, then you cannot have spirituality. So I think you guys are just jumping from one issue to another here.
So you're just assuming that doing
Sorry,
a physical
I
act.
think
Are
I
you?
think
Are
I
you? Are you?
inter I think I interrupted Sayed, so maybe he should continue his statement so
no,
that.
it's no problem. And I just wanted to say, like one of the known scholars in the Shia world who passed away a few years ago, and I got the honor to meet him personally. And his advice was always so simple. And we tell him, Sheikhna, how did you get to that stage? He's a Arif, a very spiritual man.
How do
And
you
he
know?
would
How do
say,
you know he's a Arif, Sayyid?
oh no, he's known to be a Arif. And some people say he has karamat, he's healed people. I don't know. I personally, I haven't had
So,
that touch with him. Do you understand? Like I'm
so
saying
you don't know.
what is counted, what is known about him in Iran, what is known about him. So when I met him, I asked him, Sheikhna, 1, 2, 3, what do you advise a person like me? Some scholars would tell me, Nazim Amrak, be organized in your life. Emphasize on your organization. He said to me, the most important thing is very simple. Obey Allah. Stay away from the haram and follow the halal. If you live your life this way, with honesty and sincerity of heart, it will lead you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But these are the commands that Allah has told us. And He knows our nafs better than we know it ourselves, correct? Can we say that we know our nafs better than Allah knows us? It's a question.
Of course, Allah knows better than us.
So when Allah tells us do this and do that and don't do this and don't do that, it's for our benefits. Allah benefits, there is no benefit to Allah whether we pray or don't. It's all for our benefit. And when He tells us do this and don't do that, He knows what will bring us closer and what will benefit us. Anyway, when I have to drop off, I have to pick up the kids. I apologize, brothers. But school is almost out and I have to pick up the kids.
MashaAllah,
Assalamu
Sayyid.
alaikum.
Sayyid is a perfect example. Like Sayyid, he speaks, you feel something. Why? Because he's a Sayyid. He has a, whether Shia or Sunni, he has a connection to the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And there is no cutoff here. He is a direct descendant of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So when he speaks, you feel his, what is it? I don't know. We felt it. I don't know what it is. This is my question. This is where I am. I always raise the question: where is this? There has to be a point where there has to be a role of someone that is having this direct access. That's all I ever say. Because look at Sayyid. He has a direct access. his parents, his father, and then their father, and then their father, probably went to one of the imams, and then went all the way up the chain to Imam Hassan or Hussein, depending on if he's Husseini or Hassan, which line he takes his
That's made
ancestry
up,
goes
by
to,
the way.
and it goes to
That's
the
made
Prophet.
up. That's made up. That's made up. That's you Naqshbandis say that, for example, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is in the chain, but of course Imam Sadiq explicitly takfir the Sufis. But again, that's not the topic
No,
of
that's
this
not.
room.
I'm talking about the lineage of. I'm talking about being Sayyid. I'm talking about being Sayyid. He clearly has something. We can't. We
So
don't know what it is. What the Sayyids have. The
how are
Sayyids have
you
something.
sure?
We all know it.
Wait a minute, Shafi. How are you sure, for example, I am not a Sayyid?
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't say that.
Well, that's what you're implying here.
Oh, stuff. Oh, that's not my intention. But you went there.
Yeah,
Hey
but
guys,
see,
is it
Safi, I must say it too, okay? Do I follow all the
And
principles of
Nargis, you have a
Islam?
very beautiful energy about you too. You do. I've heard you for a long time on this app.
Yeah,
And that's
I,
probably what it is.
but that is doesn't mean like we don't take through lineage, darling. Lineage is
It
not.
seems the Sufis have hidden antennas to detect who is a Sayyid and who is not.
Yes,
No,
indeed.
No. We're not claiming that. Astaghfirullah. No. It's just. I'm just.
there,
I
yes,
was. That was
energy.
just.
There's a lot of study done on it. Energy and the fields of energy, etc., are effective. We are all a unified consciousness. Yeah, I get all that, but you see, the Islamic school of thought does not place merit or class or hierarchy based on lineage, because if that was the case, there are many whose name I don't want to take came from good lineages and went bad, or came from bad lineages and went good. So truly, it's such an individual approach to understanding this grandiose thing that is Allah and His Prophet, that it's free. It's absolutely free in concept. It does not hold you limited to your father, his father, his father. And I think that is the success of Islam, to be honest.
Hey
Mhm.
guys, is it time for my question?
Yes, Henry. Go ahead. Bismillah. Sorry, guys. Anyways, take care.
Okay, no worries.
This might be a separate
So,
issue, but
Assalamu
Henry, just real quick, this might be a separate issue, Nargis, but I think there are times when lineage has been kind of emphasized, especially for the purpose of, let's say, marriage, right? Like, so the Prophet did say to look at a person's lineage, but maybe that's a separate conversation entirely.
Yeah, and even the lineage of the Prophet ﷺ was the greatest lineage. He
Subhanallah,
even
subhanallah.
his lineage is the greatest lineage. No one, even when they say in the Quran, Ibrahim alayhi salam's father, it's not his literal father. It's actually his guardian. It's
Hmm.
how we understand it. It's not his literal
He,
father. It's
it's
not
been
his
said,
biological father
Islam
because
it's been
there's
said
no
about.
shirk.
ground is what I'm saying. Of course, Sayyids show particular attributes. Sayyids are also very passionate, hint, hint, someone in the room. Sayyids are also extremely sensitive, very for the truth. Yeah. There are attributes that people have observed and noted, etc. And they carry good energy, yes, eventually, if they don't show it even. I agree with it, I mean, to some extent. It's not the founding ground on to assess another, is what.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. I'll take my leave,
Yeah.
inshallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
Listen.